So speaking once again about Meghan Markle, about her cut interview that came out a while ago. So she spoke for over an hour on this cut interview. Yeah, this from the woman who wants to be left alone by the world media, which is why she's giving these incredibly in-depth interviews. Well, she's a real high achiever, and her profession is bad mouthing her family, both the family she married into and the family that she was born into. So what's the common factor here? I think that'd be Meghan is the common factor, actually. So she falls out with so many people that, say that the royal family disliked her. I wonder why. I mean, okay, everybody's disliked by somebody. I know it's hard to believe. Some people even dislike me. Well, anyway, so cry me a river, and her too. So she was happy to leave the United Kingdom, she tells us. I'm not sure why we're supposed to feel sorry for her now, and that they were upsetting the hierarchy. Well, stop upsetting them then. I mean, royalty is a hierarchy. Royalty is not egalitarian. The whole system is pyramidal. You know that. Isn't it richly ironic for this woke warrior, this egalitarian, to then want to be royal, which is the complete inversion of the very notion of equality, strikes at the heart of this idea that we all have the same status. There should be this sort of unearned adulation for certain people. I mean, I'm a royalist, but I think if a hardcore egalitarian, you can't be one. So it was meant to be yet a bombshell, this interview. She was only in the British royal family for 18 months. She left over 2.5 years ago. So she'd been out of the royal family for much longer than she was actually in the royal family. And yet she's banging on and on and on about how she was so hard done by. She's suffering from this martyrdom complex. She may not actually feel that bad about it. I wonder if she's hamming it up because she is a ham actress. And she's a one-trick pony. That's all she's got to talk about. It's like she's incredibly tedious about, she's really into women's issues. Stereotypes hold women back, like the idea that women are fixated with their appearance. Okay, a few are, so are some men. She's certainly fixated with her appearance. Her hair is very carefully done. She buys these very, very expensive clothes. I suppose it's not bad to take a pride in your appearance, but she's certainly playing in up to one of the stereotypes. And stereotypes don't come out of nowhere. There's usually an element of truth to them, even if they're overstated or a bit oversimplified and out of date. Okay, so she's getting back on Instagram, and then she hinted darkly that she's got more dirt on the royal family. She's been holding back on the House of Windsor. I mean, I suspect she's not actually. She's really let fly. The only thing that she hasn't disclosed is who she alleged was worried about what skin color their baby would have. Concerns and conversations about his skin color, she said about a year ago, because I don't think that has to be a racist thing. If one person is white and one person's a little bit black, she's about a quarter black, Meghan, the child's skin tone isn't necessarily halfway in between, it might be more towards one or other. I mean, it's not bad, it's not good, whatever it is, any skin tone. But someone might have speculated on that. But she would take that as viciously racialist, because she's obviously one to take something innocent and try and turn it into something grossly offensive. Refrain from commenting these two dull individuals. It may appeal to Daily Mail reading viewers, but to no one else. Well, okay, I'm sorry, I have to appeal to some of my viewers. And I find it a little bit entertaining. Family always wonder what kids would look like, regardless of race. What eye color they're going to get. Yeah, what shape of the nose is going to resemble mummy or daddy more, and so forth. Yeah. And anyway, so there are a few little vignettes that she shared with us. Oh, thanks, Meghan. Made us feel special about this Lion King cast member from South Africa in London in 2019, and claiming that when Meghan married Prince Harry, that people were celebrating on the streets of South Africa. Now that's probably unfalsifiable unless you had a video camera on every street at that time in South Africa. And she said this was on the same level as when Nelson Mandela was freed from prison. Nelson Mandela, who spent 28 years in prison, and he really was battling for equality, racial equality. He could have been hanged. But anyway, wow, as though Meghan's suffering is on a level with that. Now, even if someone said that to her, I mean, she shows that she's got such a tin ear to say that, to make that comparison. I mean, she's perhaps cunning enough to put it into the mouth of this anonymous person. And some journalists are trying to track down who that Lion King actor is and discover that there was no South African actor in the Lion King production in London in 2019. So Meghan is lying again. And when there's so many provable lies that she's told her, when it comes to something where we're not sure, no, don't give her the benefit of the doubt because she's a pathological liar. And she and Trump got far more in common than either would care to admit. And these are all prestige lies. It's all about self-aggrandizement. She's a social climber. She calls it being ambitious, manipulative, backstabbing, and so on. She's lied and lied and lied. Remember this Finding Freedom that they had no connection with her whatsoever. And then they later acknowledged, okay, they had authorized their staff to tell the authors everything from their point of view. Okay, so they're not going to Balmoral, and she's back in the United Kingdom. So they're worried that the media would be following Archie if they're in the United Kingdom. Well, duh, you married into royalty, and one of the duties of royalty is to be in the news, is to show up, coordinate with the media, as they do. There's obviously some of the press pack are accredited to Buckingham Palace. And Meghan, you're an attention addict. Okay, a lot of people like attention. I like it too. Partly why I'm doing this channel. So more than most. But she's really just off the scale with wanting attention and wanting privacy and yet wanting attention. It doesn't make sense. I mean, action speaks louder than words. What she doesn't want is privacy. What she wants is maximum possible exposure. And the press, they have the right to print what they want. That there is a free press. Sorry, Meghan, you have no censorious right. And the press will sometimes say things that you find disobliging, and sometimes report facts that you find deeply embarrassing. So no, you can't control the media. You can't have it both ways. Invite them into your life and then tell them to get out. I mean, and if you really want privacy, shut up. Get off the screen. No more photo calls. Make up your mind. She didn't accept the invitation to Prince Charles, and she's constantly bad-mouthing Prince next day, the phone conversation. So just like she complains about her father leaking things to the media, she does that with private conversations all the time. And oh, woe is me, they're so hard done by. I mean, she's the biggest victim in the world, really. So she's actually a bit like her late mother-in-law, Princess Diana. I thought it was particularly inept, the timing of this, because this came out the day before the 25th anniversary of Princess Diana's death. Princess Diana, who was killed in their car crash at the age of 36, and Meghan's now lived to the age of 41. Anyway, so the one thing is that supposed racialist allegation, they said it's not the Queen. By not naming the person they're accusing, they cast a pall of suspicion over about a dozen people. Anyway, and Kate Middleton gave a template how to do it. Obviously, be perfectly turned up, show up, smile, be gracious, and just avoid controversy. And she never put a word wrong, and no one's got a bad word to say about her. So these two, they're just going to harp on and on. I thought there would be diminished interest in them, and I think there is. I think there'll always be some people who want to hear what they've got to say. But I'm surprised. I did see an opinion poll that actually this has played well for her. I didn't think it would. That most Americans have a more positive opinion of her after this latest The Cut interview. But I'm astonished that more people haven't switched off. And if they really want Archie to be free from the depredations of the media, then just be quiet. Just fade into obscurity and let us forget you. And you just won't be newsworthy. In a few years, Prince William's children, they'll be teenagers. And people, who are they dating? And that'll be in the press. And I've said this for a long time. I think as they're not willing to play by the rules of royalty at all, Meghan and Harry should lose all titles. You can't have it both ways, half in, half out, and still be in the line of succession. People are always saying he won't get to be king because he's sixth in the line of succession, but not necessarily. You take one plane crash or something and he's the king. So these two are utterly despicable, constantly washing the family's dirty laundry in public. Okay, most families have things which are unhappy episodes, things which are even shameful, and they don't want the whole world to know about it. And it must be excruciatingly embarrassing. The Queen is very old. She's 96 years of age. She doesn't need this. The rumor is that she's dying of bone cancer, that she stopped treatment. And I think in her declining years, maybe even declining months, it is really the height of disrespect. It's grossly cruel of them to keep harping on about this kind of stuff. So they really are nauseating, this pair. So I just should think they should just live out their lives in quiet obscurity, show some grace, have some decorum. So if they take the titles away, get divorced, can she keep the Duchess title? No, take away everything. Now, she might still call her the Duchess. Some people will call her the Duchess. It's a bit like Fergie, Sarah Ferguson, that she's no longer a princess. But I remember who was it? That American guy. Larry King said, well, once a princess, always a princess. I'll still consider that. They also have a high media profile. And was this her cunning plan all along? Maybe. I mean, I think she might tire of Prince Harry and dump him eventually. But where do you go from there? She's not really going to marry out from there. Partly because of her age, she's not going to be able to marry someone that rich, maybe that high profile after this. And she's obviously not succeeded in Hollywood. Yeah, Prince Harry was touting for her, saying, she does voiceovers at some red carpet event. Anyway, these two, they are despicable. Right, thanks for watching my channel. Make sure that you subscribe to me on Patreon, donating to me and so on. I don't think their titles will be taken away. Maybe, I don't. Yeah, they're the Queen. They're going to do it. They probably would have done it. There's not much more these two could do to backstab the royal family. And Prince Charles, this is his son. He's always holding up the olive branch, saying he loved both his sons. So kindly donate on PayPal to keep this channel going. George Callahan79 at gmail.com. Callahan spelled CALLAGHAN, all small letters. Thank you very much. Goodbye and good night.